Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be giving you guys an update of one of the newest disease outbreak within China. So I just decided to make this short video to educate my people so that they can be able to know about it and be able to prevent themselves from this new disease outbreak. So guys, if you are new to my channel, I would like for you to please subscribe and don't forget to hit the notification bell so that you can be notified whenever I upload a new video, guys. So this new virus is called the coronavirus, and it was first discovered in China, in Wuhan. So it started within the marketplace, and now it's like spreading all over China, even in the US now. And this can be spread from human to animals. So that's how this disease came out. It's usually found with is a virus that affects animals, but now human can also contact that disease. So this disease is really spreading. Some preventive measures have been put in place so that people entering the country can be tested. What is this disease? Like, when you want to prevent yourself from this disease, how can it be prevented? Because there is no cure now for this disease. So what people are doing is the disease can be spread by sneezing, coughing, and by any close contact with that infected persons of that disease. So you can prevent yourself from this disease by wearing protective masks and by staying away from anyone that have contacted this virus. And also you should wash your hands. Always wash your hands. Like, it's very serious, guys. It's something serious. It's alarming now. And some common sign of this disease is this disease is a respiratory disease. So some common signs of it include coughing, fever, difficulty of breath, or shortness of breath. So these are some signs or symptoms of this disease. It's like a pneumonia-like disease. So guys, it's something that is very alarming, and we have to protect ourselves. You have to wash your hands. You should cover your mouth when sneezing or coughing. And WHO recommend that people wash their hands regularly. That's why I'm stressing on this washing hands. People wash their hands regularly, cover their mouth and nose when coughing and sneezing, and they should avoid all direct contact with wild animals or farm animals. Those of us who love eating meat and things, we should stay away from these things for now, guys. So I just decided to make this video because this thing is something that can be spread from person to person. So if you don't stay away from these things, if you don't prevent yourself, your family might contact this disease and it will result in death, because now it's spreading. It's now even in the US. So guys, and I will encourage you guys to do further reading on this disease so that you can be having some knowledge about it. After witnessing this video, you can go online and do some further research so that you can be able to know about it. But now in Liberia, the measures that have been taking place to prevent this virus is that all those entering the country should go through a screening, like a test. They will be tested for this virus at the airport. So guys, this is the latest update now. So if you are new to my channel, I want you to please subscribe as I stated earlier, and I want you to share this video because the life you save today might be yours tomorrow, guys. So I would just like to say I love all of my fans, and I hope this video was educative. And if you have any questions, just leave it below. I will try to answer you guys. Love you and have a blessed day. Bye bye.
It's an expert's insights on the coronavirus, which is showing a little sign of slowing down. In fact, it's speeding up. Confirmed cases have jumped from 12,000 to 14,000 plus in the space of just 24 hours. I'm happy to say we are joined by Dr. John Campbell, a UK-based independent health analyst, a medical professional who has been following the outbreak very closely since the start. John, welcome. And can you tell us more about the coronavirus? We all know now that it's from the same family of viruses as SARS and MERS. Considering how fast this coronavirus is spreading compared to those, are people right to be as concerned as they are at the moment?
Well, we've known about the coronavirus since the 1960s. It's always lived in animals. And it's made the species jump from animals into humans, unfortunately, in Wuhan in China. And this has caused zoonotic infections that we get from animals. And this is now spreading from person to person, so person-to-person spread has now been confirmed. Now, you're right to say, Mark, it is the same type of virus, the same family of viruses as MERS, the Middle East Respiratory Syndrome, and SARS, the Severe Acute Respiratory Syndrome. It's the same family of viruses, but the virus is slightly different. It's changed in slightly different ways. And there's some interesting differences here. So the death rate, for example, with this novel coronavirus is probably about 2%. Whereas with SARS, it was about 10%, but with MERS, it's about 35%. So that's kind of the good news, as it were. The death rate is lower. But the bad news is that MERS is much harder to transmit. This novel coronavirus transmits more easily. And another big difference that you've already referred to in your excellent piece there was that asymptomatic carriers can spread the new coronavirus. Asymptomatic means they don't have symptoms yet. They are still incubating the illness. And this was not the case with SARS. It was only sick people that could spread SARS, whereas healthy appearing people can spread the novel coronavirus. So you can catch it from friends who appear perfectly well, but yet can be carrying the virus and will become ill in the next few days because of this infectious incubation period.
Yeah, and the danger is then, of course, that you can be with this friend who might have the virus but isn't showing any symptoms, catch it from them, and then you go and spread it to all your friends and family. So we're going to have to see how this plays out in the coming weeks and months. But researchers have shown that the coronavirus can pass via human-to-human transmission, as you just mentioned. How do you think people can best protect themselves and their families?
In animals, the virus is often in the gastrointestinal tract, so it can be spread through feces. And that is true in humans, but the main thing that's infected in humans is the respiratory system. It's in the respiratory system. And this means that when someone coughs or sneezes, they're breathing out moisture. So you probably know that when you breathe in air, it's fairly dry. And when you breathe it out, it's actually quite moist. The air is much moister. This is because there's thousands of very small droplets in the air that we breathe out. And the respiratory epithelium in an infected person has the virus and sheds the virus, so the virus will be in their mucus and in their saliva and will go up into their upper respiratory tract as well. So when they cough or sneeze or even just come into close contact with us, the virus is going to be spread into the air. It's like an aerosol of the virus in the air. It's this droplet infection. And then we can breathe that virus into our respiratory tract and that can infect us through the nose or through the mouth. And it gets into the body through mucous membranes. And of course, the front of the eyes are a mucous membrane as well. So if someone was to cough or sneeze, even up to 2 meters away from you, then the droplet infection with the virus, the droplets of water containing the coronavirus, can get into your mouth, you can breathe it in, or it can get into your eyes. And the other main way of spread, certainly what happened with SARS, was that when someone coughs or sneezes, the virus goes onto surfaces that they're coughing or sneezing onto. And then if you go and touch that surface with your hand, you can then pick up the virus and the virus will then be on your hand. Now, it won't go through the skin of your hand, but if you put it in your mouth or your nose or or your eyes, then it can get in. So it's very important to have good hand hygiene. So if we've been outside or near anyone that might be infected, thorough hand washing as you've shown in your item. Soap and water, hot water, wash the hands forward, backwards, all the different ways you can wash your hands and get your hands as clean as possible. In healthcare situations, of course, we wear gloves to protect ourselves against the virus and then take the gloves off. So they're the main ways: the droplet infection, the droplets and the virus getting onto surfaces. Now, how long this virus can live on surfaces is not quite clear. It depends on the temperature. So when it's cold, the virus can survive for longer. So it's probable, we don't know yet, but in SARS it was certainly possible for the virus to live on surfaces for 4, 5, 6 days or even longer. So until we get more precise data, it might be best to assume that the same is true for this virus and that it can live on surfaces for 4, 5 or 6 days after someone's coughed or sneezed on it, and to be absolutely meticulous about our personal hygiene.
Okay, yes, washing hands and being very careful with how you take care of yourself in terms of hygiene is of crucial importance at this time. And you mentioned washing your hands thoroughly. I also read that you should also clean under your fingernails as well. Now,